we doing, lads? Welcome to another little video. So again, I think this one's going to be for not the canning tutorial series, but my other series. What was it, Factions for Noobs or something like that. But basically what we're going to talk about today is how to box a cannon in modern factions. So this is one that I have generally quite a few questions about: how to do barrels, how to do boxes. I'll explain all of that here in this video. So first things first, we'll just start with our cannon. So I might just choose one of probably my tutorial cannons. I'm going to choose this cannon here. And if we're using a Lightmatica, let's load up this Lightmatic and get it in the middle of nowhere. So with this cannon here, let's lower it down a little bit, just so it sits there. So currently this schem here, or this Lightmatic, is at world height. Now you don't want that. You never want your schem or Lightmatic file at world height unless you are not using a box. In this case here, what we're going to do is apologies. What we'll do is move this schem down by 3 blocks. So 2 blocks for a sandbot and then 1 block for the roof. So what we'll do is we'll go schematic placements, configure 1, 2 for the sandbot, and then 3. So now this is 3 blocks below world limit. So now we'll get into doing the actual box. So this is going to be at, should be at world height here. Yeah, that's at world height here. So this is going to be the very, very corner of our cannon. Now we don't want to start our cannon box here. So basically where we want to start the cannon box is, I think 3 blocks out is generally the nicest way. So of course you don't want it right on the edge because you don't want to mess up these observers. And of course you do want a water cannon on the, or not a water cannon, what am I saying? A water curtain on the inside as well to stop it from spraying. So what we'll do is we've got 1 block worth of air, 2 blocks for the water curtain, and then this is our 3rd block here. This is going to be the wall of the box. So what we can do now is we've got that just off the edge there. We can just trace it around like this, and we'll just do a top little skirting all the way around. So that should be even there. Water, yep, this looks good, I think that's okay. Get myself confused now. It can be a bit hard to tell sometimes just because of where the lines are for the Lightmatic file. But for the most part, it should be pretty self-explanatory. Yeah, that looks good, that looks good. And then this one here, I think is a bit close, so we'll extend that out. You can always make your box a lot larger than the cannon, but it's always a bit of a waste of money. So you do want to go with the smallest box possible. But yeah, basically what you'll do is you'll build this frame all the way around the top here. And I think out to here, that should be okay. That looks good. And we'll take this all the way along again, and then we'll just extend this one out here. So this is going to be the very, very top frame of our box. So what we'll do from here is we will gen all these walls down. So we'll use wall gens or whatever. I think that's actually a block too far. I'm just going to move this in by block. So just go here, and we'll just go move 1 north. Okay, that should be good. So now, yep, that's basically it. We'll start genning the walls. So I'm just going to use a /stack command here. But on most live servers, what you'll need to do is you'll need to go underneath and you'll need to use gen buckets to gen this all the way down. So what we'll do is we'll just say we gen our walls. Now, while our walls are genning, what you want to start doing is lavering the edge and filling in the roof. On complex blocks are indestructible at world height, so you can always leave your roof dry. But for this case here, what we'll do is we'll just use lava. The reason why most people do lava instead of water is because concrete cannons will... That's a little bit loud. Just turn all that back down. Still a little loud. I'm just going to fuck the sound off completely. There we go. Yeah, so basically what you'll want to do is you'll want to come around the edge like this. Preferably while the walls are being genned. Just so you don't need to deal with people getting inside the cannon box and starting to seg it if they catch you early. But yeah, for the most part, it's pretty easy. Just chuck this lava all the way around the edge. You can do additional walls if you want to, Most cases you shouldn't need additional walls unless you're being side counted or buffer counted, in which case you want to build walls in the direction that you are being shot at. Anyway, so we'll wrap this all the way around the edge here. And you should see we get a nice big curtain of lava that starts to fall down. That's what we want. And we can now just use horizontal wall gens to fill in the roof. So I'll just simulate that and just go here. And we'll just go set cobblestone. So now we have a cobblestone roof. I will just make a note as well. One thing you can do too is make this box out of obsidian. In this case here, we won't really bother with that though. We'll just do a cobblestone box. But anyway, what we'll do now is we will go a couple blocks underneath the cannon, maybe 5 or 6 blocks underneath the cannon, and we're going to do something called a rev layer. Now, what rev layers are basically used for is to stop people from getting up on or getting underneath your cannon box and shooting TNT up through the floor. So you always want one rev layer on a box, and you always should do it out of lava, or you basically want to do it out of whatever the liquid on the outside of your box is. So if we go set cobblestone, hopefully I got that right. Yep, sweet. So now, yeah, we've got a floor of cobblestone here. So what we'll do now, of course, because most revs for taking out boxes will only be TNT, what we'll do is we'll put a layer of lava here. Now this whole layer doesn't need to be sourced. Oh, sorry. This whole layer underneath doesn't need to be sourced. You just want most of it, most of it sourced, and you basically want it around the edge sourced as well. So what we'll do is we'll just go set lava, and of course you don't want, if you do bust a hole underneath, you don't want just lava sitting at the bottom. So what you'll do is you'll just put in another layer of cobblestone just like that, and that's going to be your rev layers done. And yeah, that's like the bottom outer bit of the box done now. So this is sort of alternative, or optional, I should say, depending on whether you trust yourself or not. If you're running with a cannon that you're confident with, you don't really need to do this. But a good habit to get into is always to have like a layer of cobblestone that sits one block out from the bottom or from the top of your stem, sorry, and you'll just extend this all the way around the edges of the box like this. Keep going, and we'll keep going just like that. And what you'll do from here is you'll just pour water out on this edge here. Basically what this is going to do is, in case your cannon decides to spray TNT, this will prevent you from blowing your own box into pieces. Again, this is purely optional. It depends on how confident you are with your cannon, but it's generally quite a good habit to get into because you can do it pretty quickly. Anyway, yep, you'll see now you have a water curtain, and most importantly, your observers here are not touching that water curtain, which is what we want, because observers and water are not a good mix at all. So we got all that watered now. So what we'll talk about now is our barrel. So on most cannons, you'll be having a barrel something like this. So the barrel is basically where your TNT is shooting out of, and unlike 1.8, cobwebs aren't good for a barrel in this version, and that's because ender pearls can go straight through them. So what we'll do here is we want to extend off the wall from the box over the top of our barrel by a couple of blocks. So what we'll do is we'll take it around like that, and around like that. Now what you need to keep in mind here is this cannon isn't shooting out of a 1x1 hole. It's not shooting out of this hole here. It's actually shooting out of just a slightly larger hole. Now that's because of the presence of the chests here. Chests aren't a solid block, and basically this TNT and sand is going to be between 2 blocks. So you always want to make sure that you know what sort of barrel you have, and if you are in a position like this, you will basically need, wherever the TNT is being shot out of, you'll need the whole thing to be clear of blocks. Anyway, now that we've got our barrel lined out there, what we can do is Didn't want to do that, but we can just do that now. What we'll do now is use basically 1.18's alternative to cobwebs, which is scaffolding. Now, scaffolding will let players up, but it won't let players down, and you can't pearl through it. So what we'll do is we'll place a piece of scaffolding there on that edge there, and we'll place 2 more pieces just like that. Now, a good habit to get into, again, is you want to waterlog all this scaffolding here. So if people try and seg scaffolding, or they try and glitch segs inside the scaffolding, it won't blow up. So we've got our scaffolding watered like that, and what we'll do is we will raise our barrel up again. You don't really want water flowing around your box, so you do want to be careful when you do this. And I'll just put all that down, and same goes for this side here. And that should be good. You can sort of see there that I do actually have water flowing out from underneath the scaffolding. What you can do is you just don't waterlog like your last layer of scaffolding, basically, or alternatively, you can also put signs here. So, signs also work just fine there. So this is going to be the base of our barrel now. So what we want to do is we want to raise this all up to the top. So what we'll do is we'll just connect that side in there, just like that, and we will just go. Of course, you're going to need a hand build this. You can't weld it at this. But what we'll do is we'll just go stack 30 up. You can see now that, oh, that's basically perfect, that we have our barrel completely sealed like this. Now at this point here, if you do go with the water curtain approach, what you want to do is you want to just block off the water in the water curtain where your barrel is, and you want to completely seal in your barrel just like this. So at this point now you have your barrel sealed in. You do want to stop access going into that block there. And one other thing that you should do is generally always you want to put a second layer of scaffolding in. Again, you can just waterlog that scaffolding. And at this point here, you have no more water in your barrel. So basically now what you want to do is you want to fill this barrel here with lava. And you can start to open the barrel up. You need to make sure that all of this barrel here is all filled with lava before you do start opening up the side though. So generally what I'll do is I'll put some lava at the top here. So I'll put like 2 bits like that. And as long as the water's out, because you don't want to put cobblestone in your own barrel. And now we've got lava up there, so we're just going to break that cobblestone there on the side. And you should see if you place a source right on the edge, it will start flowing down. You do want to do this slowly. Just so you just basically limit the amount of dry spots you have, and you do want to keep an eye out for anyone that is trying to break into your barrel. But yeah, you'll just do that all the way down there, and then you'll have a fully sealed barrel, which is all source lava. So that just means people can't seg into it now. Alright, so let's just go down to the edge here. Yep. If you've done the barrel right here as well, the water and the lava shouldn't mix, and it should be fine. Looks good. So basically at this point here, your box is completely done. You've got your barrel open, and how the barrel's now going to work is you are going to have a spot to adjust out of. So generally you can just put cobblestone out like this, and this will be your X adjust here. And depending on the Y height that you want to shoot at, you'll just place blocks at different Y heights in the barrel here. So say if you want to shoot at let's go Y300, you go down to there, and then you'll just place a block above, there. And your cannon is then going to shoot up, hit Y300 here, and now it's going to go out and across. And basically what you do then is you'll just go to the X coordinate you want to hit, and you'll just drop a pillar down like that. Oops. Just like that. And now basically what will happen is, I wonder if X-ray works for this. Oh, it does. Oh, that's so sick. Now you can see the full box here. So we have our red layer, we have our barrel here, and we do have the point at which we are shooting out of the barrel as well, which is, where was it? It's like Y300 or something. So basically it's going to shoot up through the scaffolding into that block there. then it's going to shoot out, and it will hit. Turn X-ray off. You need to make sure that your little X guide here is at Y300, which it is. So now your cannon's going to be shooting at Y300, and then Z -45165. So basically your cannon's now going to be shooting at this point here, and that's where you're going to be hitting the walls at. So that's pretty much it. That's basically all you need to know. This should be pretty universal for most cannons on complex that do use the chest barrel. So this cannon here, it's going to be shooting out of these two blocks. That's my 255 there. Again, same thing, chest barrel, it'll be out of the same two blocks. And basically, most cannons on complex will just be shooting out of a chest barrel. So you can just do it straight out of that. Worms and stuff, you generally can't really box. But for most cannons that do shoot and stack like 250 sand, you can just box super easily just by using the scaffolding method here. But yeah, that'll sort of be it for this video. So hopefully you all have a good day, and I'll catch you all later.